question that sits right between psychology, biology, and human perception. Why does time feel faster as we grow older? Let's start with childhood. When you are young, almost everything around you is new. Your brain is constantly discovering something it has never experienced before. Your first bike ride, your first time swimming, the first time you tasted a new food or visited a new place. Because these experiences are unfamiliar, your brain pays very close attention. It collects details, emotions, and sensory information. In simple terms, it takes a lot of mental snapshots. And when your brain stores more memories from a period of time, that period later feels longer when you look back at it. That's why childhood often feels so rich and full in memory. Your brain was recording everything. Now compare that with adult life. For many people, life eventually settles into routines. Wake up, go to work, commute, eat, scroll through social media, sleep, and repeat. There is nothing wrong with routine. In fact, it helps us function efficiently. But routine also means fewer new experiences. When your brain encounters familiar situations again and again, it stops paying as much attention. Instead of carefully recording every detail, the brain begins running on something like autopilot. And when fewer unique memories are created, large stretches of time start blending together. Imagine your life as a photo album. Childhood is like an album packed with pictures from almost every day. Each page is full of different moments and adventures. Adulthood, on the other hand, might have fewer photos. Maybe a holiday here, a birthday there, a vacation once in a while. So when you flip through that album later, the earlier years feel fuller and longer, while the recent years seem to pass in a blur. Psychologists also talk about something called proportional time perception. The idea is surprisingly simple. When you are 5 years old, 1 year represents a huge portion of your entire life. It's 20% of everything you have ever experienced. But when you are 50, 1 year is only a tiny slice of your life story. As your total lifetime grows, each additional year feels smaller in comparison. Think of it like cutting slices from a pie. The more slices you add, the thinner each new slice becomes. Our brains unconsciously measure time this way, which makes years appear to move faster as we age. There is also a biological factor involved. Chemicals in the brain, especially dopamine, influence how we experience time. Dopamine increases when we feel excitement, curiosity, or motivation. Children and teenagers often experience strong dopamine responses because they are constantly encountering new things. But as people get older, dopamine activity tends to decrease slightly. Without that constant stimulation, everyday experiences can feel more predictable. And predictable moments don't stretch our perception of time the way exciting moments do. Think about moments of extreme excitement or danger. Sometimes people say everything seemed to move in slow motion. When life becomes routine or monotonous, the opposite happens. The brain processes less detail, and time feels like it slips by quickly. Another major influence today is distraction. Modern life constantly competes for our attention. Phones buzzing, notifications popping up, messages, videos, headlines, and endless scrolling. Even though we are absorbing more information than ever before, we often experience things only briefly before moving on to the next thing. That fragmented attention can weaken memory formation. When the brain doesn't create strong memories, entire days can feel like they disappeared. Have you ever finished a long day and realized you barely remember what happened? That's your mind running on autopilot. But here is the encouraging part. Even though we cannot physically slow down time, we can influence how fast it feels. One powerful way is by introducing novelty into life again. Trying new activities, learning a skill, traveling somewhere unfamiliar, or even changing small routines can wake up the brain. New experiences force the brain to pay attention and store fresh memories. And more memories make time feel fuller. Another approach is mindfulness, simply paying attention to the present moment, not rushing through everything, not constantly thinking about the next task. Noticing small details around you, the sound of wind, the colors in the sky, the taste of your food. When you become more present, moments feel richer instead of rushing past unnoticed. Even simple habits like journaling, taking photos, or reflecting on your day can strengthen memory and slow down the feeling of time slipping away. So why do days seem shorter as we grow older? It's not because the universe sped up. It's because our brains change how they process experiences.